and first-team All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
5 for Steve Taylor. That is a new Nebraska record.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
That's right. We are back here, and it is time on Wednesday for weekly rap sessions with the All-American quarterback, Steve Taylor. I'm Jake Bakoven, sitting alongside the All-American himself, Steve Taylor. Like I said, like I usually say, one of the best to ever done, the Scarlet and Cream at the quarterback position for Nebraska. And, of course, as we know, Nebraska opening up fall camp here this week. We've already had a few practices in the books. In fact, they might even be wrapping up things pretty close to it, at least right now. But we will not hear from the team. I think we have to wait till tomorrow to get anything from them outside of what we got Monday. We'll wait till then to have more news for you coming out of camp. But we've got plenty still to chat about. Steve, how's it going? How you been the last couple weeks?
Do we really what? So, we had the Big Ten media days, right, yep, last week. So what was the biggest buzz for you of the Big Ten in itself, in general, and then where the Huskers are and where their mindset is? I saw a couple of interviews and clips that I want to talk about and kind of get your opinion on what you actually think about it. So what was your buzz, your take on the Big Ten media days?
Well, it was fun. The Big Ten Media Days, of course, in Las Vegas. We sent a team out there.
Las Vegas. How you like that spot?
Yeah. Well,
can you stay focused?
I don't know.
You have distractions?
Doesn't necessarily feel like the Big Ten necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big Ten, you usually think Midwest or something like that. But as we know, they're expanding their footprint, so they tried it out in Vegas.
Yes.
Austin went there, and he said it felt a little more corporate than football. Of course, the last couple of years they've had it on a football field in Indianapolis. That'll make it football.
For some reason, I wasn't all that interested. I mean, the venue, the Vegas, and then Rayola's suit. I mean,
the Vegas suit. Yeah.
Did you like his suit?
Yeah, I like it.
You liked it?
Yeah, sure.
You could sport that.
I think so. I like the theme. Right? He's kind of got the Vegas theme on the inside. I like that, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah.
The Vegas thing on the inside?
Yeah, like the inside of the suit, I think had I can't remember, it was like cards or something, but it was like a Vegas thing.
He's already for the draft. That's what they do.
Yeah,
that's what
right.
They do for the draft, right?
I think if you have that custom made, then
custom made.
Yeah. So
I was wondering I wonder if Gary Michaels got that.
I think it was Gary Michaels.
I think it was.
Yeah.
And being an offensive player, he wore black.
Yeah.
No, I guess he's representing the black shirts. I don't know, right? Anyway, so that was one thing that was kind of intriguing to me. Like, would I go in a suit? How would I go to Big Ten Media Days? If they had that back in my day, what would I wear, right?
Did they not have media days back then?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we didn't. That's what we had our weekly interviews, I think, which were Tuesdays, just at, Sports Information Office, but we didn't go to a site like the Big 8. No, we didn't do anything like that. So all that stuff's been kind of new to me in the last few years. They've been doing that. I don't know which players do you select to go and represent your team, normally the captains or something like that. But so first of all, I wasn't that thrilled about Vegas. It seems like the Big Ten took a back seat to what was going on in Vegas, right? There are a lot of happenings in Vegas, right? So maybe that's one reason why I wasn't that interested. I had known a little bit about the other teams and stuff. And then I was trying to get a feel for the players, and they kind of lost me when Raiola was doing his interview, and it mentioned national championship. And I was like, okay, all right, let's set like some realistic expectations and some realistic goals. Not to say that can't happen, but I wish we would have narrowed that down where we have more of a realistic expectation or more of a realistic goal that could be accomplished.
Well, it's interesting now in the realm of the playoff is that I think I kind of thought the same thing when you said that.
And I forgot something else that came across was Coach Rule's response to the question of, is Nebraska
a good job?
A good job.
Yeah.
So those are three things that I took, from the Big Ten Media Day.
Yeah, that's good. We could dive into that. Like I think too with the national championship thing, I think that caught a few people's ears, right? And
Yeah.
you like that as far as like off-season Kool-Aid and getting excited, like you said.
So you do like that as
well. I think Husker fans do, but
you
I think
they do, really?
I think you're right about the realistic part of it. Feels like okay, that's a long shot, but at least they're aiming up, right?
Well,
But-
they have us finishing. This is all speculation.
Yeah,
Finishing somewhere in the mid-range in the Big Ten. Am I correct?
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they did the Cleveland.com does the unofficial picks. I think they're 7th, maybe 6th.
7th, 8th, or 9th, or something like that. Okay, didn't crack the top 5.
But I think it is like when you again, I think it's adjusting as a college football fan to hearing, okay, the goal is national championship. That sounds a bit lofty, right?
Well,
But
why not say the goal would be like making the playoffs?
Right.
Like,
but then if you're in the playoffs and you're playing for the championship,
but you gotta.
are you playing for house money or
Maybe
playing
I
with
don't.
house
Maybe
money?
I don't dream big enough. But I'm thinking, like, how about we like? First of all, like, how about we like win the conference?
Yeah,
Right. Let's
could
win the
be.
conference.
I thought that could have been a response.
That's a more realistic, obtainable goal for me, right? I'm just trying to be fair and trying to be objective. So how about we won a bowl game, we finished above 500,
Yeah.
right? And we won a bowl game. Let's build on that. Now let's be very competitive in the Big Ten Conference and see if we can win a Big Ten tournament. And then Big Ten tournament, win the Big Ten Conference. And then if you do that, then you have a realistic chance of making the playoffs and then having a run to get to the national championship. So I guess that's what I'm saying. Kind of like baby steps.
Yeah.
This is year 3 and everything's supposed to be a big jump. I think those are things that you can really set goals that have a realistic chance to achieving those goals versus just come out saying the national championship.
Yeah, it's interesting. But again, I think if you look at Ohio State last year, as you kind of went through those things, I think the national championship traditionally think, hey, they're going to be the best team in the country.
Yeah, but that's normally thought and said when you like Texas.
Yeah.
Texas can say Big Ten championship. I mean, national championship, right? They've been close.
Yeah,
They've won they've been very competitive in their conference. They may not even won their conference, and they've made it to the playoffs. They've been close, right? So I can see them saying, "Hey, no, our goal is to win to win it all, the national championship." When they say it, I believe it. When the Huskers say that, that's just strictly dreaming or Kool-Aid, if you want to call it that, right? So just set some realistic, have some boundaries.
but
Have some respect, man. I think that shows to me more maturity versus just lip service and thinking this is what people want to hear me say. So I think that's when leadership, I think, plays a role. And these are the question marks that I have with this team, right? I want to see some maturity in these players and definitely in our so-called captains or leaders, and not just saying what you think people want to hear. I can't get in anyone's head, but that's how I took those comments from the face of our team, which is Dylan Raiola, the star quarterback. I would have liked to see him answer that question a little bit more maturely than what he did.
Yeah.
Than versus just saying national champions. I mean, that's easy, right? Come on.
Well, and it is. I mean, I think it did strike people's ears a little bit, right? It surprised people. A 7-6 team saying, yeah, they're going for a national championship.
That's a big leap, man.
It is.
That's a big jump. That's like you saying I'm going to run a 4.340.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
And I'm not hating on it. I'm just like, so those type of things are kind of telltale signs. I think there could have been so many different answers he could have given.
Yeah.
To really get away from that narrative.
But it is interesting because Ohio State, like if we want to win the Big Ten, I think conference championships are less of the goal. Given that Ohio State didn't even win the Big Ten last year, didn't even play for it.
But they were right there.
Right.
They were right there. Like, I get it. Ultimately, you want to make the playoffs.
Right. I think that's even more than conference titles.
And obviously, if you win your conference, more than likely you're going to be in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
If you finish second, maybe third, depending on how many teams are make the playoffs now, you may have a chance to do that, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you don't have to win your conference, but setting that as a goal will put you in position to have a chance to either do that or make the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm not hating. I just come on, man. Like, let's just not shoot from the hip.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too, because I think it's an overall narrative that I took from Big Ten Media Days too, is there's this there's this narrative that we know about, like Matt Rule's third year, and it's not just going to happen just because it's his third year. It needs to.
In his third year, if he wins a national championship, dude, it took Coach Osborne how many years, dude? I mean, come on. I mean, when you start putting it in that perspective, think about how kind of asinine that really is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
But I think too, from media days, you could tell that Matt Rule was kind of handing it over to the team and to the players to kind of say, yeah, well, I've shown this in the past, but it needs to be a player-led team. And I think that's where it's kind of interesting to see it. And then to further kind of look at that and look at the leaders that were in the room, right, that they brought to Big Ten Media Day and the bravado that they have and the answers that they gave.
So who do we have? We had Dylan, we had Emmett.
Not Emmett. We had Emmett didn't go. Deshaun Singleton, I think they went with Henry Lutovsky, and Marquise Buford was there as well.
Okay.
So yeah, they all got some time in there. So I was fascinated just by that part though, just to say, okay, because the year 3 thing, it just feels like it's so people have this narrative of it's a given that it's going to happen, but you have to go in there and work for it. And so to hand it over to the players is kind of like saying, in my mind was just kind of like, okay, I think we got to work for this.
I think Husker Nation, and this is when I have to step back, right? I have to step back and if you look at Coach Rule's history, he has done that, right? Now, not necessarily a Power 5 school, because Baylor is a legitimate, obviously institution, football program. You would hope that will happen here at Nebraska. If that happens in itself, would be a tremendous improvement. But he's laid the foundation. This is an interesting season, man, because I'm so excited about it, but there is a lot of unknowns. I'm guarded. I'm apprehensive and I'm guarded. I think the Cincinnati game is going to be a telltale game for Husker football to really see where we are. And Rule history is that he makes that jump. I want to believe that. I want to believe that to be so. He's done some great things to kind of put us in position to have that leap, to have that growth. So I guess realistically, I can expect him to have a pretty solid year, right? Have a pretty solid year. Now, what does that solid year look like? Are we competitive in every game that we play against the big dogs? The big name schools that we're going to play. Do we win the games that we should win in a decisive manner? The Purdue's and Illinois, those type of teams. The Cincinnati team, are we going to score 50 points, or are we going to? And although it is the first game, or are we just going to be in a dogfight with them? So it's just such an interesting year that, and I'm guarded, and I'm excited about it, but I want to see how talented we really are on a national scale.
And I think that is the big question. Is that there's a lot of hope again from the narrative that Matt Rule is taking those steps. The fact that they did go out there and make a bowl game, right? They took actual steps forward. Maybe not the biggest step that Husker fans wanted, obviously going into the bowl game at 6-6, but ended up winning that and going away with a winning record. But that is the question to me: is we can get excited, but this has to. Yeah, they have to have.
Can we stay excited? Can we get excited and stay excited?
Well, but they need huge strides from a lot of different guys in the fact that you're going to need all conference type players to truly compete for a conference championship and be in that playoff discussion. And you look around like the preseason watch list and stuff in preseason picks, Nebraska doesn't have too many of those guys in there. And
is it true? I'm not a lawyer, but they say you should never ask a question that you don't know the answer to, right? I either read it, saw it, or someone texted me that Raiola was listed as the 40th best quarterback or something.
There's plenty of lists out there. I could definitely see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he's gonna have to take a huge stride.
I know that was huge.
Yeah,
that was huge. When you look at a national scale of where they thought he landed.
Would that be unfair to you based on what you saw last year? Or would that probably feel about right?
That's why I was trying to be objective and trying not to be biased.
Right.
I think he's a skillful quarterback. Statistically, I think they were okay. Especially for a freshman. Do I think he's the 40th worst quarterback? I don't think so. I think he's better than that. That's why it was kind of eye-opening to see what other people kind of thought about that.
Well, I had 13 touchdowns and 11 picks last year.
What?
I had 13 touchdowns and 11 picks last year.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah? Didn't finish well.
You're right. So you're right. So are we drinking the Kool-Aid on that deal or what? Right.
Well, and to that, Terrell's got a question real quick off YouTube. He says,
Terrell?
Yeah.
Like the Hall of Famer,
like Terrell Farley, the Hall of
Famer,
leading tackler from the 95
All right,
team.
number 43. Let me see what he says.
It says, does being a 5-star automatically make Dillon a star on the team, or does he have to perform like one?
Wow. I was just talking about these ratings. I don't know who I was talking to about it. Man. And I say this because things have changed now. We're going to talk about this with the NIL, and I've learned a lot about this and everything. The new what's been adjudicated. Wow, it's like anything else. You have to prove yourself. You've done it in high school, and where these ratings come from. You're expecting him to perform like that. That's a tough question, man.
It is, and he's clearly the face of the team.
It's really. I'm trying to be objective and to be fair, and not let the media influence me to that degree, right? I want to see it with my own eyes. I do think he's a very skillful quarterback. I think he's skillful. But there's a lot of room for improvement.
Yeah.
A lot of room for improvement. And I think on and off the field. When I say on and off the field, I mean his maturity. I would have liked seeing him have more of a mature answer when it came. And that says a lot, right? Because otherwise we're just going through the motions. And with him, we've kind of seen that with the whole Patrick Mahomes type stuff, right? It's kind of like you're emulating someone else. You're giving people what they want, but is that truly who you are and what and what you stand for and whatnot? So, I would probably say I took a step back because when things get tough, you're really gonna have to step up. No, and he talked about making plays. I don't know if you listen. He talked about making plays, and I want to see the plays being made. I want to see the ball being delivered. I want to see you taking off. I want to see you running and everything. So, is he one of the better quarterbacks in collegiate football?
Yeah. We'll have to see. It's interesting too because I think I think that there's potential for a boomer bust type of season.
You do. You see that?
And what I mean by that is if the season kind of starts turning downward, you have an embarrassing loss, a big time loss or whatever, that the expectations of being 9 or 10 wins or kind of getting back to there. This team's going to have to stick to itness to get, bounce back ability.
Yeah.
And they showed that last year. Remember, they got blown out, poor performance against Indiana. And then the next week was able to come back and fight with Ohio State. And they didn't win, but they fought with the eventual national championships to the end. So I think that could be maybe argue whether there's a boom or bust. Where I look back at years like 2007, 2017, 2007 was the 4th year under Callahan. 2017 was the 3rd year under Riley. And I don't think that's going to happen, but that's when the expectations are, okay, this is the year. This is the time to move. This is the time the program's on the rise. And those teams fell apart when adversity struck.
See,
I don't think this team necessarily will. But
this is when it gets really tough, right? Because we're so isolated in Nebraska with the media. There's nothing else here, right? And how can I say this? I think leadership is something that someone grows into and demonstrates over a period of time, on and off the field, right? And unfortunately, with so much hype around Dillon being a 5-star quarterback, come to Nebraska after what went down with his whole recruiting experience, he was just kind of given that. He hasn't really been like challenged. Even with the starting job, it was like I'm really conscious of using the word given, but in essence, it really was.
Yeah, there
was no like true competition where he beat someone out and really earned it. It was just kind of, he was given the reins. So he was given the leadership role and, not really earned throughout, just from him playing well in the field and establishing that. Now he's had a lot of rhetoric, said a lot of great things, helped recruit, but if you look at the whole foundation of it, to answer Terrell's question, that he hasn't really demonstrated that on the level that would give me a lot of confidence saying, okay, this is our leader of our team. I've seen it. And that's what is a little scary with me going into the season. Like, who are the leaders on the Cornhusker team that have done it on the field and off, right? That I have confidence in. And I have not seen that hardly at all, besides just the showmanship of stuff.
Yeah.
Right? The showmanship of stuff. I've seen that on a regular basis. And that doesn't win me over. I can't speak for you, but it doesn't win me over, give me a lot of confidence. And I'm not trying to be hard on anyone in particular, but unfortunately, he has been thrust into that spotlight like he's the leader, he's the face of our team. And we really won't know what we have until we're in that moment. That's when you find out really what this person is and what his capabilities are.
Well, and I think it could.
And that goes for every player, not just Dylan. That goes for running backs, offensive linemen, defensive backs, linebackers. That goes to whoever, the captains, or who's going to step up and really show that leadership on and off the field.
Yeah.
And I can't really tell you who those guys are right now.
Well, and again, I think you kind of go to who they brought to Big Ten Media Day. Obviously, you're going to bring some guys along.
So you have to trust the coaches that these are our leaders.
Yeah.
Or are they just the ones of age and the obvious picks because no one else is really qualified?
Well, and that's, it's interesting because you do get that. And I wanted to ask you, because on maybe on your team, there are those guys that you can say they lead by example, right? But they're not big, word guys. They're kind of bringing it up. Can you have lead by examples guys as the leaders of the team? Or
Absolutely.
do you need? Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was, you can consider me a leader. I was a captain and voted.
Sure.
We were voted by our peers.
Yeah.
But sometimes, a lot of times I could be vocal, but I always just tried to lead by my play on and off the field. And it just, and the more experience I got, the more confident I got, I think you're a better leader. Right. And you have your play to back you up with that.
Yeah.
Right. So
as a quarterback, you kind of have to be a leader, right? Is that inherently in the position?
I would say so. It's a very important position, and those guys naturally are leaders in general, naturally. And then being in that position, people kind of expect you to be that leader, right? So that's the weird dynamic what I'm talking about, right? I would have to think long and hard about quarterbacks that were not maybe the face of the team, but it's a high profile position.
Yeah, and you touch the ball every play.
And you touch the ball every time.
Yeah.
To be frank with you, that role sounds very nice to me of not having to be that guy. I mean, to have a Lawrence Phillip or Amon Green or whomever or Keith Jones or whomever or Zach Wiegert, I could go on and on about guys that were not at the quarterback position that were leaders, the Jason Peters brothers, they just had the personality and the skill level and they backed it up, and then there's so many more. You go back, obviously Turner Gill was a leader, but you had Mike Rozier, you had Irving Fryer, you had tons of other guys that had their roles. So you can just facilitate and just be a quarterback. Yeah. That sounds very nice to me just to do that. So, but naturally being in a quarterback position, they kind of are just natural leaders.
Which is interesting too, because you can dive into it, is leadership doesn't mean you have to be a nice guy.
So if you're a quarterback, so when a guy says, well, this quarterback just manages the team, we just need him to manage the team, is he a leader? Now, the same question kind of goes around Purdy at San Francisco. That's what's kind of going on with him, right?
Yeah.
Is he a leader of that team? Is he really is he the face of that organization? Now he is because he got the big contract, but before he was Mr. Irrelevant, right? He wasn't that guy, right? So it's always interesting to see how that plays out. You have, I can name many more, but those are dynamics that come about throughout the course of the season to see who emerges to be that guy.
Yeah.
Or not that guy that you expect it to be that way. And I think that has hurt Nebraska over quite some time. I don't think we've really had true leaders in that regard.
Well, and it's interesting because we're talking from the player's perspective. And on the other side, Nebraska's just on the coaching staff. Obviously, with your offensive coordinator having been a head coach, they've got plenty of guys there with coordinator experience. But I would think at least, having two head coaches on staff, or guys that have been long tenured head coaches.
See, I have a lot of confidence in Dana.
They could help. Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
Right. I like the way he leads. I mean, I can just listen to the way he talks and what he does and his resume and what he's done in the past. I like him. And I think he's probably the best thing for Raiola.
Yeah.
So we're going to see how that dynamic plays out from the season opener.
Yeah, I think that's a big reason for a lot of people to think Dillon's going to break out this year. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. We got plenty more to talk about with the Huskers opening up camp. We're going through some of the offseason topics.
Did I answer Terrell's Farley question?
I think so.
I did?
He might have had another one in there.
Okay.
Which we can get to back here on the other side of it. We'll be back with more weekly wrap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor coming up next.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Western Sand and Gravel is hiring for a variety of positions at their sand and gravel plants near Ashland. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Available positions include plant operators, dredge operators, and shop service technicians. They offer great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, paid holidays, and paid time off. No matter your experience level, on-the-job training is available to help you build a rewarding career with Western Sand and Gravel. Start your career today. Visit westernsand.com.
Nebraska football opens their season on Thursday, August 28th in Kansas City, and you can be a part of the best pregame tailgate party with Blur Events, live from Kauffman Stadium, home of the Royals. Doors open 4 hours before kickoff with a live DJ promoting interactive competitions and giveaways, tailgate games like cornhole, flip cup, and beer pong, access to ballpark concessions, and available air conditioning. Book your tickets today at blurevents.com/Kansas City and hang with 93.7 The Ticket on the scene prior to Nebraska versus Cincinnati on August 28th.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce is complicated. It affects every part of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions that it can take, it's times like this that you need a partner you can count on.
If you're a man facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today to connect with a local divorce attorney who understands the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Text GO99 to 323232. GO99 to 323232. GO99 to 323232. 1221 N Street, Lincoln. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply, stop to opt out.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
You're invited to Valentino's big jumbo anniversary party, and we've got a gift just for you. On Thursday, July 31st, only buy one jumbo 16-inch pizza at a regular price and get a second pizza free. Hamburger or cheese pizza only on original crust. It's our way of saying thanks for sharing Valentino's tradition for over 68 years. Celebrate with a slice of Valentino's tradition on us. Pre-orders start July 30th, online, by phone, or in person, and the offer is good for July 31st only for carry-out or delivery at participating Valentino's locations.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Now back to weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on weekly rap sessions with the All-American quarterback Steve Taylor, and it's kind of interesting. We've got some response here off the text line. 5844 says, Steve rarely misses, but today he's off. Dylan earned it by being the best quarterback in the room. That was obvious last year.
Who was else in the room?
Now that's what you kind of have to question, right?
I mean, who else did we really see that was in the room? I'm trying to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could probably more lean toward your side because I think it was pretty obvious that once Dylan came in, that he was the prized quarterback in the room.
And when he struggled, we never saw someone come in.
There was never any even
that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
Like if I struggled, Lakeland came in, right?
Mm.
Tommy, he got the whole Tommy Frazier deal. Brooke, those are great teams, but there's not and there's no disrespect to Dylan. I think that's been part of the issue. You list the last 3 starting quarterbacks. Were there ever even challenged? Was there a competition?
Not
Martinez
generally, no.
No. Adrian and Taylor, no. For Tommy Armstrong, no. They were all, think about that, dude. They were 4-year starters. Who were their backups?
Rarely challenged them, yeah. Really could push them.
Joey Gans came in.
Yeah.
When that was the guy that got hurt from Arizona
Sam
State.
Keller got hurt, yeah.
Yeah, whoever it was. Yeah. I mean, otherwise.
Yeah, there hasn't been too much like actual legitimate competition at quarterback for Nebraska in a long time.
That's crazy.
But that's college football for a lot of it.
It is now.
Backup quarterbacks will transfer.
Well, that's what I'm saying, dude. No, not back then. No, not when Tommy was starting and Adrian or Taylor Martinez.
Well, when Adrian started,
you did not have the portal and the movement that you have now.
Well, they did. Remember, they did go with Luke McCaffrey for I think a week under Adrian, and he ended up transferring because he didn't get. Ultimately, Adrian was given the ball back.
I got that right. I said that guy never should have been playing quarterback. Period. Never.
Now he's a wide receiver in the NFL. He's pretty good, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He should have been doing that from day one. And just like I guess you can go back. We had Purdy and Double H.
Shepard Purdy, Heinrich Carberg. Yeah,
those guys shouldn't have been playing quarterback either.
Yeah.
I said that when they were playing quarterback. We weren't very, but and no disrespect to them, but that's just where we needed to be at that position.
A couple more response from the text line here. Rubber Duck from LinkedIn.
Rubber Duck?
Yep, that's right. He says, if your goal isn't a natty, then what's the point of playing? And somebody else agrees with Rubber Duck, says, well, Steve's wrong. If your playing goal is a championship, there's goals along the way, obviously. Title is the main goal.
I agree with that 100%, but I just said set realistic goals, dude. I'm like, make your first million before you make your 30 million, 50 million. How about you make $1 million first?
Yeah.
Right? Maybe I need to dream bigger. I just like, it's been documented. If you want to achieve goals, you have to set realistic goals.
Mm.
That just seems, I get it, but you got to set some realistic goals, man.
Well, Terrell Farley has another question for you
God.
here off of YouTube. Says, can Dylan Raiola get away with another season like last year?
What do you mean? What do I would have to preface, like, what do you mean by get away with?
That's what makes it kind of interesting, is that I don't know. You got to take that in your own direction.
No,
Well,
because like, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's behind them? Like, say, okay, you're next. There's no threat of you're next in line.
Yeah.
Like, if you're struggling, this guy's going in. I think he probably could get away with it. Unfortunately, I think he could.
If he does play like last year, doesn't take a huge step up, what do you think Nebraska's record could be? Because then you kind of think about the pieces around him. Would the defense be as good or better?
Do you go in the portal and you get someone?
Yeah, then it would open up questions.
We'll see how that shakes up. I think, I hate to say the word unfortunately, I think he could get away with having a mediocre year.
Yeah.
I think nationally that's what they're going to think. I don't think on a national scale, that's not fair to say. Because I'm going by the 40th ranked quarterback.
Yeah.
But I do hear some rumblings that people think he's a good quarterback, some pundits, which I just don't know if they're just saying that because he was a 5-star quarterback. I don't like to talk about this so much, but it's just the talk of the town because it's just the way it is in these sports. So I think, to answer his question, that if he had a mediocre year, I think people will stomach that because there's not enough around him.
Yeah.
I think that would be the narrative. I think that would be the narrative.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, it's hard to envision, but it could happen.
Won't know any different because to date we haven't seen him be challenged or someone else in there that can say, okay, this is the best that we have.
Well, it would be interesting because you would still, because if you did have the same, let's say, carbon copy type of season,
would you say the same thing about Rule?
Could he survive a similar year as last year? I think he could survive. I think
that's what I'm saying. I think Rule would get away with that.
Yeah.
I think I hate to say get away with it. I think people would be empathetic to that.
I think that the pressure, if that would happen, the pressure would just dial up the next year.
Realistically, I don't think people expect us to win the national championship, right? Realistically, they don't even expect us to really contend in the Big Ten. So to go back to the text question, it's either the national championship or anything. That's what I'm saying. That's not realistic.
Yeah.
So I think if Nebraska did not do very well this year, I think the narrative would be, hey, they're still building. They're still a young team. They need more pieces around them. They need this, they need that, because there's so much work that still needs to be done. So yes, I think they all will survive.
Yeah.
Now, and Coach Rule has done a good job of trying to put his team in the best situation to be successful. He's made coaching changes. He's trying to change the culture, and I think they would get another pass. I hope that's not the case, but I would be empathetic to them all.
Well, it's interesting because I think too the narrative of the big year 3 jump, if it doesn't happen, I think that'll get people really, if they go 7-6, like we're just saying, like things stay the same, about the same. I think people, he survives, yeah, but I think then there's a lot of pressure that next year to say, okay, well, if it didn't happen there, it's got to happen here. We got to eventually see the jump.
This is a great conversation to lead into our next topic, which would be, is Nebraska a good coaching job?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I think this leads right into that.
Yeah.
Right? Is Nebraska, I would like to ask Husker Nation, what do they think? Is Nebraska a good coaching job? Right?
Yeah.
Is it?
And is there a big difference now from what Rule was saying at Big Ten Media Days was all the facility, Tom Osborne complex, the new fields, all that sort of stuff has elevated it. And obviously
elevated what?
The job.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So our field, our facility, have elevated the job.
That's what I wonder what the difference is.
You have a nice big house.
Yeah.
Nice big comfortable house that looks good.
Yeah.
from outside, but inside, in the guts of things, it's like you can't see what's behind the walls.
Yeah,
is Nebraska a good job?
Yeah, and what level of that? It was when do you go, like, is it a top 10 job? Probably not. Is it a top 20 job? I think that's when you start having conversation.
And what do you categorize as a good job? Right?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Let's dive more into that. We've got one more segment to go here on Weekly Wrap Sessions with the All-American quarterback, Steve Taylor. Is Nebraska a good job? We'll talk about it.
I don't know if it is or not.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce is complicated. It affects every part of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions that it can take, it's times like this that you need a partner you can count on.
If you're a man facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today to connect with a local divorce attorney who understands the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Text GO99 to 323232. GO99 to 323232. GO99 to 323232. 1221 N Street, Lincoln. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply, stop to opt out.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your weekly forecast for today. We'll see a chance of showers and storms throughout the day. Otherwise, mainly cloudy skies with a high around 81. Tonight, showers as soon as possible. Otherwise, mainly cloudy, the low around 65. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies. It'll be breezy and cool with a high around 77. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Western Sand and Gravel is hiring for a variety of positions at their sand and gravel plants near Ashland. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Available positions include plant operators, dredge operators, and shop service technicians. They offer great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, paid holidays, and paid time off. No matter your experience level, on-the-job training is available to help you build a rewarding career with Western Sand and Gravel. Start your career today. Visit westernsand.com.
Nebraska football opens their season on Thursday, August 28th in Kansas City, and you can be a part of the best pregame tailgate party with Blur Events, live from Kauffman Stadium, home of the Royals. Doors open 4 hours before kickoff with a live DJ promoting interactive competitions and giveaways, tailgate games like cornhole, flip cup, and beer pong, access to ballpark concessions, and available air conditioning. Book your tickets today at blurevents.com/Kansas City and hang with 93.7 The Ticket on the scene prior to Nebraska versus Cincinnati on August 28th.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
In today's digital world, technology works great until it doesn't. At Hamilton, we work to keep your business up and running. We are more than an IT company. We're your partner, focused on customized solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Say goodbye to tech stress and unexpected IT costs when you hire Hamilton. Together, we help you focus on what really matters. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Now back to weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Is Nebraska a good job? That's what we're talking about here on our final segment of weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. Of course, this coming from Matt Rule's discussion from Big Ten Media Days, where he said that Nebraska was not a good job when he took over, when he was kind of responding to the Scott Frost.
Did someone say that? It was not?
He said it was not a good job. He reemphasized it even.
Wow.
When he got
I missed that.
Yeah.
I thought he camouflaged that with he wanted to make it like a great job.
He said he's making it a better job.
Yeah, he's making it better.
Yeah. And he said he was sold by Trev that that basically was going to be in place with the Tom Osborne complex and some of the stuff they're doing over there, that the NIL money would be in hand.
So in your eyes, of course, you have to define what makes them what a good job at what makes a good job at Nebraska? Why would Nebraska be a good job? Is it because of the facilities, of the fan base, of the history of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln? On paper, is that a good job? But then you throw in a lot of other things. So we already kind of had one exit interview from a coach here that said he implied just take the right job.
Right.
So I don't know if that means you just took the wrong you didn't take the right job or Nebraska was a bad job, right? I would love to ask Callahan. I would love to ask Riley, Bo Pelini. Is Nebraska a good job? When you left, do you feel like Nebraska is a good job? Man, if I was a coach out there, would I think Nebraska is a good job? Pays well. So that's a tough question.
Big Ten.
I would probably,
security.
If you look at the history, if I would answering the question, I don't like to use the word honestly because you should always be honest. And I like transparent better. I would probably say Nebraska is not a great job. I mean, and I could probably make a strong argument why Nebraska is not a great job. But on some aspects it is.
Right.
But if I'm being real, it depends on your options. I think it'd be a tough. I think Nebraska. I hate to use great job. It's a tough job.
Yeah.
I
think without a doubt
it's a tough job.
Yeah.
I think Nebraska's a tough job.
Well, and I think that's where
a very, very tough job.
The expectations are always, to the sky, or at least 9 or 10 wins. When Nebraska's fired 2 9-win coaches,
yeah, that's not. Good.
That lets you know it's kind of a tough job.
It's a tough job.
But you wonder if the decade of losing since firing Bo, the last kind of 9-win coach or preeminent 9-win coach, has lowered that at all, at least the expectations. Because I know the other thing is too is it just has to be the right, and that's what Matt Rule said too, is kind of like a right fit type of thing, more so than a right job, because you have to be, if you're going to come here and you're worried about people saying negative things. Bo Pelini said it's a fishbowl. There's going to be talk.
So that makes it not a good job.
It makes it at least a job that you have to. It's a unique kind of situation.
Tough job.
Yeah, tough job. I would say.
I think it's a good job for year 1, year 2. Year 3, 4, 5, and 6.
It's been tough. Yeah,
it's not a good job. Coaches haven't lasted that long. For the most part, man. you can almost ask, if you're a star quarterback, is Nebraska a great place to go play quarterback or any position? I'm just a quarterback. Any position, dude.
Yeah,
it's tough. It's tough.
It's unfortunate in the eyes of Nebraska fans. Obviously, we want it to be number one, and we view it that way.
I think Nebraskans are, in general, they're a little naive. They don't really see outside their borders. I talk to a lot of people, and they're blinded by a lot of things in regards to the state and what it has to offer and so forth. I think they're extremely sheltered, jaded. They're not in the real world on a national scale. I find that to be pretty consistent.
Yeah, and I get that, and that can be fair. Again, if you're a fan of your team, maybe that's what you're supposed to be. Is kind of overboard.
Not really. No, you're
it,
supposed to be realistic, dude. Like ignorance is, being naive. I mean, I don't know, man. I do know. Man, I think Nebraska's an extremely tough job. Not to say one can't be up for the challenge.
Yeah,
and especially if they pay you well. Yeah, it's a very tough job. So does that make it not a good job? And especially now with the way things are going on with, the whole portal and everything. That's one thing I want to talk to you about. I learned a great deal about this NIL and what's been adjudicated, which makes it, I think it helps Nebraska, but then again, it also hurts Nebraska. So that's why in this particular state and this job is a very unique and a tough job.
Well, it's interesting, too, because from Big Ten media days, and this kind of goes back to not just the Nebraska part that we were just talking about, but to earlier to Dylan Raiola's goals, is that PJ Fleck says he wants Minnesota to be delusional because he doesn't feel like they, if you just kind of sit back and think, well, this is our spot in the world, then you kind of fit in. But if you be
he said he wants them to
be delusional about their goals, about their expectations.
But delusional is what? Look up the actual definition of delusional. That he actually chose that word.
He did. And he
why did he choose that word?
A state where someone firmly believes something that is not true despite evidence to the contrary.
So that's what you want? That's what I thought, right?
I think his point.
So he's saying it's not true, but we want you to be delusional
about
it.
I think his point and everybody's kind of like the Indiana run last year. Indiana should not be in a college football playoff ever based off.
But they weren't delusional.
Or expectations.
But they weren't delusional. They just kind of evolved. It happened.
Yeah.
Like, so that's why that's an interesting choice of word that he used to describe what he wants his team to be. Would you want to be delusional?
Generally, that's not a good idea.
Okay, that's a good idea, right?
Yeah.
So, and see, Minnesota is in a totally different category than University of Nebraska-Lincoln. There are some schools that could be delusional because no one's going to get upset with you that you're delusional.
Yeah.
Right? Where at Nebraska, we will be upset with you.
Yeah.
I think. I would be upset if someone is delusional. Like, come on, man, be real.
Well, that's what you're saying about the national championship goal. That's a little bit delusional.
I don't want that. You're 100%. I don't want that. I want something that's concrete.
Yeah.
Someone with a good state of mind that has a clear grasp on his goals and what they want to accomplish. I don't want someone to be delusional. I can't follow you. I can't buy into that. But in that situation with the Golden Gophers, I get it because they got nothing to lose.
Yeah,
he can be crazy.
Definitely more of a pro sports city, and
Well, I'm just saying in general. You, what are your expectations for University of Minnesota Golden Gophers?
Make a bowl.
Yeah, you don't really have any, so you can be delusional.
Yeah,
you can dream. You can dream, and you'll wake up from that dream. Jesus.
Yeah, we'll see. It's interesting. So if I asked you, do you think that the job that Nebraska, because that's what I was kind of interested in, and is from Matt Rhule to say when he got here, the job's not very good. They want to make it a great job. Do you think that it's taking steps that way? I mean, obviously, again,
I'm
getting
confused with that. I'm not confused, but man, he is so good with the press.
Yeah, he is.
He's extremely good.
Although that was bold in my mind to say Nebraska was a bad job, because Nebraska fans view it as always a great job.
I must have missed that part. I know that Mr. Frost said it was. I don't even know if he said it was. He just said just don't take. He said just take the right job.
Yeah.
So in essence, that Nebraska was the wrong job,
right?
Compared to what? So that in essence, that was not a good job.
And that was a big thing for him, though. If you remember, I think some of the context is lost. Is that he turned down Colorado State as the offensive coordinator at Oregon because he doesn't. you look at Colorado State's history, that's a tough place to win. Where at UCF, even though he took over, a team that hadn't won a game, but George O'Leary just had him in the Orange Bowl a few years earlier. That's a place you can win. So I think part of what he was saying, and he framed it as, a place you can win a national championship. And so Husker fans might be upset that, would say, but obviously there's easier places or easier paths to win a national championship than at Nebraska. Because it's going to be, it's tough to build a national champ. Not that it hasn't been done. That's impossible. We've seen it for years before under Tom Osborne and Bob Devaney, but those are all-time greats.
Oh man, God. I'm still thinking about this Nebraska good job. And oh man, there's been so much going on at this university. I just wanted to my approach to this season is, man, I'm hopeful. I can't wait for that first game. I think that first game is going to tell me a lot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I really do. Because I have no measuring stick on really how talented we are, and so it's really tough to write. It's really tough to try to have an extreme amount of confidence and faith because I see all the other stuff.
I think you need a glass of Kool-Aid is what it sounds
like.
No,
I don't want any Kool-Aid.
No more Kool-Aid? Okay.
I don't like Kool-Aid.
Oh, okay.
I don't like Kool-Aid when
you gotta be delusional here.
I can afford pop and soda, so no, I don't want any Kool-Aid. I don't want any peanut butter. I don't want any syrup sandwiches either. I want a nice, soft, sparkling ice drink or something. No Kool-Aid for me. No.
All right, that'll wrap it up for this week of weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. We'll be back next week to talk some more. Coming up next, one-on-one with DP. Peter Kobelt, the Nebraska tennis coach, is in, and Anthony Lionheart-Smith will also be appearing on the show. So we'll see you here in a few minutes around the break.
It's never too late to start protecting your company's data from cyber attacks. Your customers put their trust in you to keep their information safe from online threats. Don't let them down. Partner with Hamilton Business Technologies to get real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and experts who monitor it all for you. We care about the success of your business and the communities you serve. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.